And now we've got Evangeline Girling.
Oh,
Evangeline, I am so chuffed that you've come along today and you've sat patiently. You've listened to several of the other,
it's been amazing. Thank you.
because it's a real cross section that we've had. We've been so
Mm,
real cross section of experiences, real cross section of people's worked experiences and so on.
yeah.
The good news for you is that you are the cherry on the top.
I don't know about that, but thank you everyone for
On,
inviting me,
on
and
the
it's
ice
been
cream
really inspirational.
on the ice cream cornet of today, you are the hundreds and thousands that we're now going to sprinkle on because
Thank
you
you.
are the last of our speakers today before I just wrap it up. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Evangeline Girling. Evangeline is registered home manager at the Haven Care Home in Boston, Lincolnshire. Goodness
Yeah,
me, operated by Black Swan International Limited. I could read all this out. A grounded perspective on compassionate, quality driven care leadership, highlighting how inclusive strategies translate into everyday practice and improve outcomes for residents and staff. I suspect before I hear any of this, you're really going to build on a lot of the stuff that Ruth was just saying. Just
absolutely. Absolutely. Being a
I'll
manager,
hand straight over to you if
sorry,
I'll hand straight over to you if I may. You go for it.
sorry.
So much.
Thank you. Um, to give you a brief rundown of my journey into health and social care, I started off as a personal stylist and did interior design. And I was also a teaching assistant. I've got 5 children, and at the time I had three under five, 3 young girls under five, 2 boys. And those skills have helped me in my work today. But as I say, I was in fashion and interior design, didn't even think about health and social care. My uncle approached me and said that my auntie had dementia with Lewy bodies, and I had a wonderful relationship with her. He was very concerned about her. I was a bit dismayed in the job I was doing at the time, so I actually left work. We moved into the bungalow next door, and I became a full-time carer. I absolutely knew nothing like adult social care, didn't really give me the right advice. I had to look things up online, and it was really, really difficult. It was a really tough journey. And I love reading. And I came across a book by Graham Stokes called And Still the Music Plays. And I highly, highly recommend this book to anybody that wants to make the journey into health and social care. Um, from this, I then found ways to support my auntie. So we began baking. I was trying to find out about her life. What could I do to make it better? Because she was so sad and her mood swings, and I just didn't understand where it was coming from. So, anyway, through talking to her daughters as well, she loved baking. So we made scones for the local bowls club. We did shepherd's pie, like we had a whole freezer full of shepherd's pie, but the smells and the herbs and everything, she absolutely loved it. I found out that loud noises affected her ears. So when I was trying to clean, I thought I was being helpful. And I ended up buying an old Bissell, an old fashioned Bissell push along Hoover. She used to use that every day. So we got into a routine. She'd get up, she'd have a wash, she'd put a face cream on, I'd do her hair, she'd get dressed beautifully. One of the other things we did was she liked to go to the factory shop to purchase things or not to purchase, to touch and to try on. And they were so supportive, so kind. And I began to read and read as much as I could about dementia and wanted to try and support other people that were on this journey because I knew nothing. It came to a point where we could no longer care for her at home, sadly, and we were trying to find a care home for her to go to. At that point, adult social care stepped in because at that time I didn't know about reading CQC reports. I didn't know about looking on carehome.co.uk for reviews. We were really new to it. She got put in this care home and it was absolutely horrific. And I mean horrific. I stayed there for 3 days and 3 nights with her. And then I spoke to my husband and I said, I want to work in care. And he said, what? Like, what? And I said, I just want to work in care. I said, because like, you need to like things need to change. And obviously I was very new, like I was 40 something then, new to it. Um, got a job in a care home. Auntie got put into an amazing care home that was able to confidently meet her needs. I was very lucky to be offered a job there as a carer on the downstairs floor, and I became an activity coordinator at all. So I did about 50 hours a week. worked my way up to senior carer, became a team leader, became a deputy manager, got my first position as a registered manager in a beautiful little 18-bed care home. Met a CQC inspector for the first time, and I said, I've read this book and this is what I want to do, and we can do this for these residents. And gradually things started to change, and staff came on board and they buy into your ideas and they share ideas, and told me I was wrong when I was wrong, and but we shared experiences. And then I got the opportunity to take over a home that was in special measures. And I was thinking, oh my God, have I bitten off more than I can chew? Can I do this? And I was doing my level 5 at the time. And my tutor said, Evangeline, just do it, go for it. You want to be a CQC inspector one day, do it. You need to do this. And I did. 2 weeks after I took over the care home, COVID hit. And as we can all remember, it was an absolutely horrific, traumatic time. But taking over that care home and watching those staff come together, not one of our residents got COVID during that period. And yes, the home did eventually get out of special measures. I was then approached by Black Swan Care Group to come and work at the Haven. And it was a care home that had been shut down by previous owners, sadly gone into special measures. Black Swan took over, and all new staff, all new training, work really closely with staff. We have performance management plans in place for staff that need that extra support. If we have a resident comes in that say had a stoma, we'd never dealt with stomas before. So I asked the stoma nurse to come in, please come and teach our staff how to do this. Residents coming in with Parkinson's. Oh, don't know a lot about that. I can find out online, but can you come in and talk to the staff? And it's been amazing. We've worked closely on research projects, especially following COVID. We work closely with Lincoln University. So we've had their speech and language therapy students come to us, and they've been absolutely instrumental in helping our residents that live with Parkinson's, giving us new skills, ways of working to get the best out of them so that they can actually live every day instead of just getting by. We've got students that were year 3 and 4 pharmacy students that come from Lincoln University. They shadowed our senior carers, and they come 38 miles away to work within our care home. We're really proud to be a teaching and learning care home. We have students from Boston College. They're doing their year 2 and year 3 health and social care. And, some of them have gone on to work with us here. They've done amazing, and they really care. And when I interview someone, I usually know within the first couple of minutes whether I think they've got it in here. And when I see them talking about things that they're passionate about, it's like, yeah, you're going to be one of them. My deputy manager, she came here 2 years ago as a carer. And from the minute I interviewed her, I just knew that one day she would be one of those people that would be a force for change. And she's now worked her way up to be my deputy. We're absolutely an amazing team. I have a really supportive regional manager where before I didn't get that support, and it can be a lonely place when you're a manager. But thankfully, in the 4.5 years I've been here, it's not just my managers and the directors that are supportive, it's the team of staff that I work with. You know, they'll leave me notes on my desk, like literally. I told Kahin this earlier. I get notes on my laptop, if they know I've had a tough day, or I struggle with my back and I've got fibromyalgia, and they'll know, like, and as soon as my residents see me, like, you slap your face, you smile on, and it's like, I'm not in pain, but they know. So they'll come and bring me a coffee or make me a drink. And those relationships have taken time to build. I have an open office, like Ruth was saying, like Ingrid was saying, you have to adapt yourself as a manager. It's like this colleague needs nurturing, or this carer that I've got, a particular carer, she hasn't got the best home life. And so all my children have left home. Like I've said, I've got 5. One's 38. The youngest is 28. They've all left home. I've probably got empty nest syndrome, really. So all my staff are like my family, let alone my residents. And it's a way of ensuring that they feel listened to, valued, supported. We've mentioned the word before, compassionate. You've got to be compassionate as a manager. You've got to really listen. And, I've been through times where as a manager, I've made mistakes where it's like, I can't talk just now. Can you come back in 5 minutes? And then I've forgotten. And then I've had to go and say, so I'm really sorry. let's go in another room where I'm not going to be distracted by an email coming in or a phone call. What is it you want to talk to me about? And sometimes staff come in and you just think, oh, they're not themselves today. They was a bit prickly. But you only know that by building that relationship with them and getting to know them. And it's the same with our residents. From the minute that they inquire about coming into our home, I want to know absolutely everything about them. Where did you go to school? What do you like to eat? What time do you get up in the morning? All normal things that go into a care plan. But the more we know about them, the better the care can be, which is what makes it person-centered. And you've got different staff that become their key workers. So we've got a resident that's absolutely amazing at oil paintings, and she's got these beautiful paintings of Sicily on her wall. I've got a member of staff that is absolutely so creative, and she's really built a firm bond with her. And my residents actually taught her, if you use these colours or if you buy these type of brushes, and it's lovely to see that bond. Being a manager can be traumatic. I had a resident that's been here for 5.5 years, but I've only been here for 4.5, and she sadly passed away 4 weeks ago, and she's got no family whatsoever. She was social funded. And when I spoke to adult social care when she passed, I said, who's going to arrange the funeral for this lady? And at first they said to me, oh, it'll be what they call a public funeral. So basically no service. And it was like, no, that can't happen. How much money has she got left in her personal funds? So we found that out. And then from there, we've arranged this funeral for our resident. We found out where her mum was buried. She had no children. She was never married. She was a spinster. She absolutely adored animals. And that was really tough. And I thought I was dealing with it really, really well. Until we went to make sure that she had the dress on that we'd bought her and the necklace and the brooch, so that when she does go to rest, I know that she's in the same cemetery as her mum now. We've got a photo of her and her mum and dad being put on the headstone. And, I invited adult social care to the funeral, which is next Friday, and not one of them can make the time to come. My staff that are not working that day are thankfully coming. We, sorry, it's really hard being a manager. You haven't got a magic wand, but when you're got good relationships with people, and when you've got that, you want to do the right thing. You want to be a force of inspiration to others. My staff are asking to do MVQs now. I don't know whether I'm mad, but I started my degree on Monday with Arden University, and I'm so, so excited to be on that journey of becoming a chartered manager. I want to inspire people, and, my staff are amazing, but it's took 4.5 years of getting to know them, getting them to realize that that extra 5 minutes you spend with that resident can change what their day is going to be like. Our residents are so important. I've got a lady that will play the same tune over and over again on the piano, but when you look at her face smiling, you know that she's having an amazing day, whether it's for 10 minutes or an hour. We've got a paramedic that comes. We have paramedics come for breakfast every other Friday, which is really lovely, and social workers. We've opened it up to anyone. We're all here to support each other. And he will play the piano for the residents. Like, the other guy will be typing everything he needs to be doing, and he'll be playing the piano for the residents. And it's just amazing. We've got families that we've got husbands and wives that live together. I've got sisters that live together here, and I've got a lady that came in for respite with her husband. He's now here full time, and I said to her, no, you're no longer a carer anymore. I said, you're here as his wife. We'll set the table up. Come and have a romantic meal with him. If you want to be here at tea time. She's a Catholic, and he's really been like absolutely anti-religion all his life. And he spoke to me in confidence, and he said, I don't want to be not in heaven when I pass. He's actually on the palliative care pathway now, bless him. So we arranged for her priest to come in and baptize him. And I videoed it for them. And, she watches it. And, when she was holding his hand, and the priest, they light a candle and say a prayer. And it was just so beautiful to see them in that moment. It was if they was getting married, because he knew that when he does go, they're still going to be together. Um, it's just the most amazing, incredible job. And for all you young people out there or older learners that are wanting to come into this career, whether it's nursing, health and social care, social worker, if you've got it in here and you want to make a difference and you want to inspire and you want to learn, like I'm nearly 58 and I'm still on my learning journey. I've got 3 years of uni to get through, and determined to succeed somehow. Um, but we're here. And as long as everyone supports each other, keep those conversations open, ask for advice. I still look up to, like, hearing you amazing women today, and you, John, sorry, you amazing women today, like, you're so inspiring. And I've taken something from that, because it's like, yeah, that's it. That's what it's about. And I will always, always do my best as a manager to make sure that not only my residents and my staff, but their families are supported, and those other professionals that come in that we work with. Relationships have to be built. I work closely with Lincolnshire, and getting more involved with IHSCM now. Thankfully, I'm able to get onto some of the courses, and it's amazing the support that's out there. And we're all in it together at the end of the day. We all want to make a difference, and I hope I have. Thank you.
Oh, Evangeline, what have you done? What have you just done?
I don't know. Just
You
be
know,
me.
I said to everybody at the beginning that on the ice cream cornet of today, you were the hundreds and thousands to sprinkle at the end. Well, you've done more than that. There's a 99 in there. There's a
Thank you.
cherry. There's all the sauce, and that's you. You've done that. I think you've absolutely brought this to the most fabulous conclusion. Thank you. I love
Thank you.
you've told us everything you did from the heart in real time. No
Thank you.
script. Just tell it how
I
it is.
did have one and I didn't use it at all.
I know you didn't use it. I could tell you that you weren't using it,
Sorry.
because you spoke like it was just from the heart in the moment. It was the most authentic and deliberately delivered testimony to what it is to work in the sector, and you did yourself and the sector and the Haven very proud indeed. So thank you so
Thank you.
much, and what
Thank you
lovely
for
stories.
thank you for having me.
Heart-wrenching at times, but moving and positive all the same. And I would say that about all of the speakers who've given up their time today to come and share it with our students, many of whom will watch this on catch up. And I just feel thoroughly moved and motivated and inspired by much of the stuff that we've heard. So thank you so much. Can we just give it up for Evangeline, please? Yeah, you've got it now, Ingrid. That's right. We're not applauding, we're giving it this, okay? Lovely job, Evangeline. I'm writing my editorial when we finish just now. So the editorial goes out to all 10,000 of our members across the Institute. It goes out tomorrow morning. And you can be certain that you will be getting a mention, all of you guys. And not by name, I won't be doing that. But you'll know it's about you when you read it. Okay. Goodness me, what a day we've had, folks. From the very beginning, where we had Dudley coming to talk to us about his experience, about what it was to develop his expertise and the skills and aptitudes that he's brought around, particularly diversity and inclusivity. And then I'm not going to go through everybody. If you've been lucky enough to be here from the beginning of the day, you've heard some extraordinary people telling extraordinary stories, and I think providing us all with a real pickup and inspirational background to the sector. If you are a student and you're looking at how are you going to get on in this health and social care sector, then I think, if I may, I would reflect on a few of the things that we've heard. Number one, don't get involved in this if you're not prepared to put your whole heart into it. So the message I got from all of our speakers is do this with a whole heart, with a pure heart, an open heart, and you've got half a chance. The second thing I think I would suggest to you is sometimes you might have to wear different hats. when you're involved in this sector. Sometimes you have to tell, direct, instruct. Other times it's support, encourage, oxygenate. You never quite know what's going to be required at any one point in the day, but having all of those skills lined up that you can call upon confidently to go into that mode, deal with the situation, that is invaluable. And we're here as an institute to help you in that regard. We've got all sorts of resources to help with that. The third thing, I think, is compassion has to lie at the heart of this. You know, everybody who comes into this sector, whatever their role, whether they be, you know, the most humble but valuable healthcare assistant or care assistant, right through to a chief executive of an NHS trust or indeed of a care home, you know, everybody, all of us have huge pressures to deal with. We're often dealing with very vulnerable people. And I don't mean the patients, I mean the staff with whom we work. You know, people are put under the most extraordinary emotional and physical pressure often. And the ability to spot that, use our emotional intelligence antennae to figure out that somebody's having a great time. Let's go and say, what a lovely smile you've got on your face today. Somebody might be having a really tough time. Having the ability to go up to them and empathize and understand and listen and support and help doesn't matter, but that compassionate approach, I think if any of us is serious about being an effective leader across the health and social care spectrum, we have to embrace that. The days of simply being autocratic tellers and instructors, I think, should be long gone, and quite rightly too, because if we're going to get over the workforce recruitment and retention crisis that we manifestly have, then we have to adopt the ways of leadership that you've heard from many of the people today: Kenny, Ingrid, Ruth, Angelina, and others. Okay, Evangeline, sorry. So I'm thoroughly kind of soaked in the emotional well-being that all of you have been able to provide me with. I think all of the people who will be listening to these sessions will feel exactly the same way. Can I say thank you to everybody who has contributed in terms of their presentations. I also want to have a big shout out to Jade Maloney and Charlotte Joseph from the Institute who have worked tirelessly to draw this together today. Can I just say, I'm also really chuffed that we gave some of you your first ever opportunities to debut as presenters. I think that's just lovely. And my goodness me, you did yourselves absolutely proud. So there'll be more stuff coming along in the future from your institute. As I say, it's been going since 1902, so I'm just a custodian of this until I hand it along to the next brilliant person. And who knows, it may be one of you. That's all I'm going to say for today. Thank you so much, everybody. What a lovely, lovely, lovely event. And I commend you all for being a part of it. Thank you and bye-bye.